Hi guys, today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about progressive and interlaced and the differences between the two and the way they're recorded, and the fact that neither one is really better than the other. However, both of them are really more of a situational sort of thing. Okay, so in order to really explain how the differences work, I've got to really explain how progressive and interlaced work. Now, progressive, you've probably seen 1080p, 720p image formats. The progressive image is basically created by the camera when it scans an image, a photograph, frame by frame. And the way it scans the image is using these lines, and it will scan the lines such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just all the way down the line. And whilst that creates a nice full image, and that can give you an excellent freeze frame when shooting in progressive, because every single time the image is recorded, it's recorded as a frame, you're going to have a pretty nice image when you record it using progressive, which is slightly different from interlaced. So you've got progressive, and that can be used to capture really good sort of freeze frames, although the image may appear slightly blurred. And the reason it may appear slightly blurred with progressive is because when it's being recorded, as it's being recorded line by line as the camera scans down for each image, the subject is moving past the camera, and the faster the subject is moving, the more the blur will affect the shot. And this is slightly different with interlaced. Now, interlaced records the image in a slightly different way. Basically, it will record the image lines 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, etc. all the way down, and then it will record 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc. all the way down. So instead of having the slow moving progressive scan, you've got a much faster moving instant scan for the first image, and then there's a second image that's layered over and scanned into it and then meshed together, which is why it's called interlaced. Now, the advantages of using interlaced is that you're going to be able to shoot, for example, a car chase or somebody running down the road, and you will get a much cleaner, much crisper image from that. However, the issue with that one is that you're going to receive, whenever you pause the image, an amount of jitter, and this is where the meshing of the image comes slightly out of proportion, and you get these little lines either side where the image doesn't mesh completely together, and say the person or the car may look a little bit distorted, and that jitter effect is created purely with your interlaced image. So progressive, you won't receive that kind of effect. However, you will receive probably a bit more motion blur from the image as it moves past the camera. So basically, in terms of shooting in interlaced or progressive, there are no real advantages to shooting in either of them, except when it comes to different situations. So if you want to film a car chase, you want to film someone running, you want to film something moving quick like a bird or a squirrel, it might be best to try shooting that in interlaced. Whereas if you've got something which is more stationary, or something which you know you're going to have to freeze frame at some point, I would recommend to shoot in progressive for that format. And so yeah, that's generally the difference between interlaced and progressive. A lot of modern cameras like the AF100, which I'm using now, which is a film camera, the progressive format shoots at 60 frames per second, which means that you're going to be getting a lot less blur between the images, that sort of thing, when you're shooting in progressive. But still, when it comes down to progressive or interlaced, it's really up to you as a cameraman to come up with what you would see as being best for shooting the image with. And I would recommend practicing with both progressive and interlaced until you sort of understand what I'm talking about, and hopefully you'll be able to come up with a really good movie. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful to you. Take care and have a groovy day.